Alright, today doing something I've been wanting to do for a long time. Nock tuning the old target bow. So in theory what we're going to do is I've got some arrows. We're going to shoot through paper, hit the bag target. We're going to try to shoot them all on a vertical line so we can compare. I've got these four that are already fletched and numbered. So you can see, like, this is arrow 1. I'm going to shoot it 4 times. This is arrow 4. Pointed. And we'll rotate it 90 degrees, shoot it again, and we're looking for what the tear looks like based off where that little notch is turned. So once we get the perfect bullet hole, we'll put a little mark on top with a paint pen, and we'll know that side needs to be up every time for us to get the most accurate flight. We'll do that with all 4 of them. I've got 3 others that have not been fletched, and that's really how you probably ought to do this, is do it before you fletch. Do the same thing with them. We'll shoot them, mark the which side needs to be up, and then we'll fletch them. That way that side is up every time. Alright, so what I've done to make sure I know which side is up, because it's really hard to keep up with, you know, when you turn this, and if you find out your second or third spot was the best, how do you know if you get back to that? So what I've done, and it's hard to see, and that's kind of on purpose, is I put a little A between the fletchings here with a black Sharpie. I don't know that you'll be able to see that no matter how close I get it. So right up here with a black Sharpie is an A, a B, C, and a D. So when I turn this, I'll go from A to B to C to D as I shoot through it, and then if I go C was the best shot, then I will turn it back to C and make sure C is up, and I will mark that with a paint pen. That way I'll know every time to have C or the paint pen up when I shoot this. Oh, well, not a good start to this. Somehow managed to hit high and not hit the roof of that stand, go right between the bag and the roof, and launch into the abyss and breaks. We're down a $20 arrow, but we're moving on to arrow 2. Okay. Marked that one. I'm going to turn this nock just a little bit so that it lines up with B now. Here we go. Alright, so what we're looking at is all 4 shots. A and D were the best, which would make sense because, like, it was A was on top and then it was spun all the way around. It was on D. So I think that's how it works. Maybe not. But anyway, A and D were the best. B, you see, would have a little bit of a knock left. C had knock left. D a little bit, but not much. A was pretty much a bullet hole. It was the best one of all of them. So what I'm going to do, alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this painter's pen. I'm going to put just a little mark to where A is up. I'm going to rotate this back to A. Rotate my nock back to A. I'm going to take just a little bit of painter's pen on the shaft where A is and the nock. So, alright, so what I've done here is I've marked the shaft where A is, and I've marked the nock. That way if it gets rotated, I can make sure that nock's right. And all I got to do is glance down before I nock it and make sure that silver's up to give me the best flight for this particular arrow. Three, similar, they're all just a little knock left except D. D's probably the best one. And it's got just a slight knock left, but it didn't tear as much as like A and B. You can see C has a pretty far tear. D's pretty good. B's probably a close second. But the rest of them are pretty rough tear, so I'm going to mark this one with D up. A was going to be the best, just slightly knock left. B and C had a pretty bad knock left. D was almost a bullet hole. You can see the difference if you look at the different, like how D is compared to B, you can see the tips over here, and we've got a real long tail rip on this side over there. Alright, so I got 3 arrows that I've not even fletched. They're brand new, never even been shot. So this is how you probably should do it if you're starting from scratch. I went ahead and marked, like, this is A. I put a little Sharpie mark on there that says A, B, C, D. Obviously you could be slightly off of that a little bit. So I'm going to shoot them, rotate, shoot, rotate, shoot, rotate. I think this will give us a much more accurate look at how these rip without any fletchings helping. Very similar. C and D have a pretty far rip. You can see here. A and B are better, but I think B is the most like a bullet hole. While it has a little bit of a tear, a knock left tear, it's not too bad. A is doable, but has a little more tear over here. Then B is a little bit more even. So I'm going to go with B, and we'll fletch it up where B is up every time. Alright, there you have it. We've got some spine-lined, Nock-tuned, VTAC 27 target arrows. You can see right there I've got that mark that lets me know when I get it on my bow, make sure that's pointed up, and all my fletchings will be just right, and should have, you know, to the maximum ability of this particular arrow. Should be able to shoot the best it's going to shoot. Recommend you doing that with your target arrows and your hunting arrows too. Maximize the way they fly, Nock tune them, because they will fly different depending on how they are knocked into your bow. So appreciate it. If you like this, give me a thumbs up, hit subscribe. Got some more cool videos coming up.